Hi, this is Charlie giving you Monday's market commentary, and I hope you're very well. Before I actually go into the market commentary, I thought I'd just run through this four key stages every trader should be aware of, or four stages that most traders will go through. And the reason I thought I'd go through this with you is because I just pulled it out last week. I was putting some slides together for last week's presentation down at the London Investor Show, and I found this on my pen, and I thought, oh, I must have delivered that a few years ago, and actually most of it still rings true now. So I thought I'd quickly go through it with you guys. And actually, while I'm at it, it was great to meet a lot of you at the London Investor Show. So great to always to put a face to the name and have a chat with individuals and traders down there. So that was always good. Right, let's go into this then. So the four key stages. Let's see if we can go through this relatively quickly. If I can, oh, here we go. Right, so first of all, we'll just run through these key concepts. Most traders, new traders, expect instant success, but rarely does it come that way. For the majority, the first objective is to have some strategies and try and then gain some sort of consistency. Then a common mistake is to assume that it will all be plain sailing, but the problem is that every new trader has investors have one thing standing in their way, and that's usually themselves, i.e. their psychology. And so do not underestimate the psychological effects of that on trading your own money, and most of you are already aware of that, so I'm just running through that quite quickly. So yeah, of course, greed and fear can take control. Second guessing a strategy can be a fatal mistake, so to speak, because then you try to pick when you're going to trade it and when not, and you can do it once you've got a lot of experience. But if you're a newer trader, then that's a lot more difficult to do. They take profits too soon. Maybe they have their stops too tight. They jump in and out and exit a trade because it was maybe in a losing position, only to see it turn around. Oh, I think it's going to hit my stop loss, and then the only thing that happens is it turns around. It doesn't hit their stop loss, and they've exited anyway, and only to find that they should have stayed in, and generally deviating from their plan, or they don't even have a plan. Okay, so let's go through these four key stages. Enthusiasm, initial stage with a little ignorance. So you get a lot of traders who are new, who are very enthusiastic, but they don't really know enough about the markets, but they've got a lot of enthusiasm that will carry them through until the point where they get a bit of a setback. Now that setback could come in many guises. It could just be that after several months they're realizing, actually, this is a lot more difficult than I thought, and I don't seem to be getting anywhere. And so their self-awareness increases, and self-realization comes along that actually, yeah, I need to learn more maybe, or do something else, because what I'm doing is not quite working. Then they go through that disappointment and self-doubt stage. Oh, can I actually do it? You know, everyone else seems to be able to make money, or it's all right for these other people. They're making money, but and they're successful at trading, but it's not working for me. And it's that point where a lot of traders will give up. And they don't persevere. But if they do persevere, then you'll get to a point where you get to that success and breakthrough, and that then increases your belief. And then as your beliefs increase, then that then helps with everything else, because you can then you're then much more confident in your trading. The only problem with that is sometimes you can get overconfidence, and that can then become a problem at some stage. But in the main, once you've got that breakthrough, then you're away. But that can take quite a long time. This is not something that can happen over just a period of a few months. And so what often happens is you get discipline at one stage, and usually in the earlier stages of a cycle. Let's say this is your P&L, and then you get overconfident, and that leads to peaks in your P&L. Start taking any old trade because you've got too confident, or you've over leveraged, and then you have a dip, and then you have to sort of start again. So you learn from your previous mistakes, and the cycle starts again, because then you become disciplined again, and so on and so forth. And this sort of cycle can happen a lot, and where I see traders will, and I've been there myself as well, where you're disciplined and you're really good, well behaved, and then your equity curve starts going up, and then you get overconfident after a few months, and then the equity curve starts going down again. But what you want is to obviously break out of that stage, so that you just maintain the discipline through whatever is happening to your trading account, and that's how you get a nice steady equity curve. Okay, so it's important to recognize which the four stages and where you may be within them, and the big one is, do you want to give up or push on through? And it's about having that commitment to to push on through and not just give up just because things aren't going your way. Recognize the cycles in your trading account and what you need to do to rectify it. Okay, I just thought it was a nice little presentation when I saw it, so I thought I'd quickly go through that with you. Right, let's get rid of that. Okay, let's go into the markets then. Right, euro dollar, sideways for what, for three days or so now. This is the daily chart, and so not really doing too much here this morning. Very, very dull markets this morning so far today. So what are we looking for? I would like to see a bit of a pullback. That's what I'd like to see. We've had a good run, and I know we're consolidating, which means we could just shoot off higher again. And but I'd love to see a little bit of a pullback. We've had some divergences there on the 4-hour charts, which are working themselves off. But it'd be nice to see a little bit more of a pullback, and then I do want to be on the long side. So euro dollar, I'm still bullish on currently. Still bullish on the euro dollar, which also means that the pound dollar I'm bullish on. If I can find the pound dollar off screen here, I'm still bullish on this. Again, been going sideways. It's got a divergence here on the daily charts, but it seems to be holding, and I am bullish on the pound dollar as well. So if it comes up and breaks out, then I'd really be interested. I'm going to be very interested in that. But all the time it's just playing around here. I'm not interested because unless it pulls back, because at the moment it's just trading within a choppy sideways range. So I'm bullish overall. Even if it pulls back, I'm going to be bullish on the pound dollar. Still think that ultimately it's going to break higher. It's just a case of whether it breaks higher from here and breaks out, or whether it's going to pull back. So I guess we'll find out sooner or later. And let's have a look at the S&P. Still think that's going to go higher. It's had a great run, I must admit, but overall I still think there's some more upside to come on that market. And is there anything else I want to have a look at here? I haven't really been looking at it too much, but if we go to oil, we see that oil's really started to break down. So then you have to go to your weekly charts and say, okay, well, where are we? So the weekly time frame puts it into perspective a little bit, that actually we've come straight down into some prior resistance highs. So it's quite a lot of support at the moment. So watch for potential bounces on the daily charts there on that one. And then if we go to gold, because I am interested in gold, gold is the one where I see that we've got a good potential move to the upside. So gold is the one that I'm really keen on, looking to try and get on the long side on this one. So be looking for long side plays, whether it pulls back into support zones to then start fixing for a long side play, or whether it's going to just start breaking out. I see gold coming all the way up into these 1400 level or more potentially. So gold is the big one at the moment where I'm looking to try and get in on a swing trade. Right, I shall leave that with you. Have a great few days. Kim will be back on touch in midweek.